the north is now facing the heat of the Fulani and them bandits. There's a big crisis in the north. And those of you who still believe in one Nigeria, congratulations to you. I cannot help you. Anytime you see me on your screen and you are not ready to hear the truth, just go. I will always tell you the uncomfortable truth. The man that fought for one Nigeria, where is he today? Where is Yakubu Gowon today? Buhari that fought for one Nigeria, he died in London. The north is in complete disaster. I asked you, my viewers, I said, go and look at the north and the eastern part of Nigeria and some Niger Delta, which you call South-South. I've always maintained there's nothing like South-South in Nigeria. It's a very useless and a foolish word. South-South does not exist anywhere. Go and look at the old eastern region and look at the north and ask yourself, which of these countries face heavy bombardment save in the north? Bandits have completely taken over. Check your screen. It's on your screen there. Almost every day, bandits is even feeding a baby to a dog, the baby of a woman from the north. The hypocrisy of the north is finally beginning to haunt them. I made a statement that I said the north were the first to say we don't want one Nigeria. They were shouting Araba, 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 Araba then. But look at to the north today. They have been ruling this country for how many years? The north has ruled more than any other region. What is that benefit of being the president or the military head of state? If you are watching for the first time, you are seeing me on your screen, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, on notifications, drop your comments, click the like button, and also share this video. As you are watching, be sharing, be liking, and also drop your comments. There is a big crisis now in the northern part of Nigeria. I've always maintained there is nothing like one Nigeria to begin with. One Nigeria does not exist and it has never existed. Most of you are hypocrites. You know the truth, but because of tribalism and religious bigotry, you can never be awake to tell yourself the truth. The north is now begging Jonathan to come back. And don't forget what they did to Jonathan. Jonathan gave them the best schools, gave them the best infrastructure. Good luck, Bello Jonathan almost abandoned his own region, the Niger Delta, to favor the north. What did he gain in return? What was the benefit of abandoning Niger Delta to favor the north? The north has lost the plot. There's a big crisis now in that place. Jonathan did well as a president from the old eastern region. I've always maintained, if you are watching me, drop your comments. Do you think that the oil of Niger Delta, the old eastern region, which can also call the Biafra land, if that oil belongs to the north, will there be your one Nigeria today? The Bible says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Nigerians are, they cannot even think. Some they don't even know they are going anymore. They don't have brain anymore. I repeat that question, drop your comments. If that oil in Niger Delta, the old eastern region or the Biafra land, if that oil belongs to the north, would there be one Nigeria? I was talking to a man the other day, Ugochukwu from Rivers State, and he said, I'm not an Igbo man, but your name is Ugochukwu. I said, They were arguing among themselves. I said, I'm a Yoruba man from Abeokuta, Ogun State, so it does not really concern me. But I'm asking you this question. That Ugochukwu, is it a Fulani name? He said no. That Ugochukwu, is it a Yoruba? He said no. Then which place are you from? He said, I'm from the south, so I said, you're a fool. You don't have knowledge. They have brainwashed you. There's nothing called south. I've always maintained. It was Yakubu Gowon who balkanized that side to bring out something that does not make sense, which is being called south. South does not exist anywhere, only in Nigeria. And you're from the south. You're a mumu. Why are you not from the north or the west? Even for east. So these are the problems. The north is gone. They are not running to Lagos here. You are seeing them everywhere, sleeping on the road. Because of that hypocrisy, Abuja Accord would have saved this country. Nigeria would have been saved by Abuja Accord. But they said no. The Abuja Accord means division. Imagine, Yakubu Gowon, imagine. They came back. I saw what happened in the Biafra Civil War, which later they gave them £220. At least I read history. Today, look at that region. Assuming everybody was managing their resources, can a Fulani man take a cow all the way from the north and come to Ondo State? You know what happened under Buhari? That already 20 human beings were wiped off in the church. Assuming there was Abuja Accord was working, will Fulani leave the north and come to Ahamefu? And it's been recorded that the Fulani militia, the Fulani S-men, are number 4, the 4th most dangerous terrorist organization in the world. Number 4 is a fact. Fulani are the 4th is a fact. That are according to the Global Terrorism Index. But in Nigeria, they are not terrorists. If Buhari can go as far as Kenya to illegally rendition Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria, why can't they arrest the so-called armed men? And I've been asking you this question: how can somebody be selling cow and have AK-47, but you cannot think? The problem is that Nigerians, I don't know if something is wrong with the brain. Nigerians can no longer think any longer. How can somebody be selling cow and have AK-47? And I asked a question that I said, can someone have, I'm talking about staying in one room, face me, I face you, and that same person employ a megad? Everybody say no. Because what is in that room is not enough to have a megad. Then how can you be selling cow and have AK-47 in your house? And people cannot think. I still call them S-men. S-men with AK-47. The North has banned alcohol, but whenever tax is being paid for alcohol, they receive the highest share, and you cannot think. What has gone wrong? What are we eating in this country? So these are the problems. People can no longer think. People can no longer see the way out. So there is a very, very big problem in this. I don't know. If you see me on your screen, expect to hear the truth, which is documented, which you can see on your screen, and which you can see anywhere. Now, as at 1929, there was Aba women's riot in the old eastern region. As at 14th century, Yoruba people have Allah, he was a female. But in 2020, 2019, Buhari said, my wife have no place other than in the kitchen. And then you are still believing in one Nigeria. You are one Nigeria. The gold in the north, are you benefiting from it? This time is one Nigeria. The gold in the north, are you benefiting from the gold? But the crude oil in the old eastern region is being used to serve all Nigerians. Even go and check the oil wells. People that are not from that place have the highest oil well. They now employ those ones to be guiding pipeline, and those ones they are happy. You can take a man out of slavery, you cannot take slavery out of a man. This is a very, very big problem, a very, very big indictment. You cannot, it's not the devil. If you don't have it, you don't have it. You cannot give what you don't have. The country was not structured to work. That's the problem. Nigeria was not supposed to work. Whether your pastor who asked you to pray for one Nigeria, their children are abroad schooling. So these are a very big crisis. Your pastors who ask you to pray for Nigeria, go and fast for Nigeria, their own children are abroad schooling. But you are here in Nigeria. They even have people that are securing them as security. You understand? So this is a very big problem. Where are the sons and daughters of your president and your governors? Until Nigerians can think, and they will never think because of tribalism and religion. They will not think. Oh, they will never think. Only politicians are enjoying one Nigeria. Assuming the Igbos have their own place, how can somebody be fought and you make him a governor? Assuming the Igbos have their own country, it will never happen. So this is the problem. Impostors are just being given power. That is the problem. So we must, so the North, good morning to the North. Good morning. Abu Akod will have saved you. He said no. You are fought for one Nigeria. Now look at your region now. Almost every day, bandits. I'm talking about almost every day now in the North, bandits. They have almost completely taken over that part of the country. Bandits, Fulani S-men. After you are going to hear, they are now repentant bandits. That is the thing. What Jonathan was saying, there was Boko Haram in my government, they were shouting. And you saw them, they said an attack against the North. No, I repeat, an attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the North. Go and check with that statement. Drop your comment if you know that. If you are watching, drop your comments. The man that made that statement, an attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the North. Go and check, go and watch it and drop your comments. That is the problem. So the North should face.
Even finish the culture of Yoruba. Sultan of Sokoto, you have not even balanced the North. How then do you now believe or think that you can come to Eastern region then and direct or instruct us on how to run our traditional culture that have been in existence before you exist? Yes. Where is Obi of Onitsha? And where is Oba of Benin? Hello? Where is Obi of Onitsha and where is Oba of Benin? When you are talking about culture, please, there is what Igbos call Ikeji, Iriji. So then the Sultan of Sokoto, Oni and Oni, Oba of, what is it called? Oni of Ife. Will now tell me when to come and eat, do my yam festival, or come and do my other festivals. Please, I want to ask, the Sultan of Sokoto and Oni of Ife, do you know what kola nut to represent in Igbo land? Do you know what kola nut stand for? Do you know how to hold a kola nut before the elders in Igbo land, before the ancestors? Do you know how to communicate with the ancestors in Igbo land? Do you know how to present kola to them? Then a kola that have three eyes, do you know the meaning? A kola with 4 faces, do you know the meaning? Do you know what place after you breaking a kola nut, or you want to break a kola nut that is more than 4 faces?
But the question is,
oh my God,
the Yorubas and the Fulanis above the Igbos in Nigeria? But it's been seen, probably after the Civil War, that the Igbos cannot be trusted with power. We saw at that time a lawyer said the Nigeria Civil War have not ended. That Igbos are still fighting Civil War over this presidency and the perceived marginalization.
Yes. Time without number, and I will continue to speak. Like I said, they don't know and they don't understand all these cultures. And let me tell you, you cannot trust power to Igbo people's hand. But remember, since you cannot trust power to the hand of the Igbos, when it comes to tradition, you cannot as well decide for us on how to run our tradition that have been in existence before Nigeria and that have been in existence before the Oni, that have been in existence even before Sultan of Sokoto. And listen again, you are talking about trusting power. This is not an issue of power now. We are talking about culture. And before now, for Oni becoming and the Sultan of Sokoto being the overall of the traditionalists in Nigeria, please, did you seek the concept of every other traditionalist? Did they give the approval? That should be the question. Did they say to you that yes, they accept Oni of Ife to be their leader, Sultan of Sokoto to rule them? Or do you just wake up and wanted to impose Oni of Ife and Sultan of Sokoto on the traditional rulers? Please, I'm talking to Nigerian senators, to Nigerian government. You cannot impose anybody on our traditional rulers because we have cultures differently from each other and we have to respect it. We have to give it respect irrespective of whom is ruling Nigeria or who not ruling Nigeria. You people are dividing the nation and you are saying that Nigeria will still remain as one. Sultan of Sokoto, the oil well, you want to keep it as one, and you people are playing this kind of game. You're already dividing the country.
But is there anything like the South? Because that statement is caused controversy early this morning, that in any part of the world there is nothing like South. Like you cannot see that on any international fora. Do you believe in that word South by Yakubu Gowon?
My brother, before we forge to international aspect of it, let us look at it in the angle of locally. In West here, is there anything like South-Southwest? In the North, is there anything like South-South-North? Let us not talk about the Oyibona, let's talk about within us here. Since there is no South-Southwest and there is no South-South-North, all these things only take place in the East. That is a political statement and a political way of divide and rule. Yes, they use it south to south and south to east to divide the brothers, to divide the whole eastern region, the old eastern region, to cause division among them, to split them, in order for them not to stand up and stand out, and to stand up to defend their mandate, which is Biafra. It has never been mentioned anywhere in the world, and I'm waiting to see it in the West. Are you trying to tell me that all Yorubas are in one language or they are in one mind? No. Ondo, I will search for an accommodation with an Ondo man. A typical Yoruba man say, instead of him giving an Ondo man house, he prefer giving it to Igbo. At Waterworks is Shaga Road, which at the end of the day, the house was given to me instead of a Yoruba from Ondo man. Hello? But yet, in Lagos here, there is what they call Obasa in Lagos, the speaker. They have crisis among the within Obasa and Sowolu, the governor. But there was no state emergency. They sort it out. But in River State, Sonwike and Fugbara have a misunderstanding. Mr. President declared state of emergency quickly. In Osun State, there was a crisis, no state of emergency. In Benue State, there was serious crisis, killing even up to this very moment. There was no state of emergency. In Kogi, in Plateau State, there was no state of emergency. But in Rivers State, there was state of emergency. Divide and rule. South to south and south to east. But in other part of the Nigeria, like Borno, no state of emergency. No south to north. You see why I am saying what I said? All these things are political games. To do what? To keep reaping the Igbos, the Biafrans of their resources, denying them their mandate, which is not going to be possible again. Every day is for the thief. One day is for the owner. Let Nigeria continue to play their propaganda politics in the eastern region. But one day, Ora ga-eju onye nwụrụ anwụ afọ. Ora ga-eju onye nwụrụ anwụ afọ. Yes, Biafra will stand. But and all these games will become a past tense.
We've seen men of God warning Nigerians about the dangers of dividing the country. Men of God have told all Nigerians, is it yet time? Pray for this country and pray for our leaders. We've seen many conventions. Pray for Nigeria and pray for the leaders so that the country will never divide, so can enjoy the prosperity of the nation. What do you have to say?
My brother, to be honest to us, to start with, I am sorry for this angle I want to go. The so-called men of God that are organizing 100 days of fasting and prayer, praying for Nigeria, to stand Nigeria and to stand with. What is the meaning of Nigeria that you are praying for? A country that don't have meaning. How do you then intend your prayer to have a stand on it? How do your prayer work in a country that don't have meaning? That's number one. And number two, in Tinubu regime, open heaven, 100 days of fasting and prayer. Now, a pastor now come up. He want to raise 1,000 prayer warrior to intercede on behalf of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yes. But under Jonathan, the same person that of the 3 oil well in Niger Delta. Please, I put it to Niger Delta indigene, to all the Biafrans, both those that know that are said to be Biafrans and those that are claiming not to be Biafrans. I want you to please tell me how many of you control the gold that is coming from Borno State, to be precise. How many of you own a farmland or running a company of gold in Borno State? How many of you? I am asking it as a question, and I'm putting it to you, to all the deltas, those of you that are supporting Nigeria, that say Igbos are the bad people. Now, only Sultan of Sokoto own 23. Abdul Salam have never come to declare his own. In a country, in a side, these are the people. IBB have never come to declare his own. El-Rufai has never declared his own. Even Alhaji Atiku Abubakar have not declared his own. Bola Ahmed Tinubu have not declared his own. Late Buhari have never declared his own. Abacha own is still there. How many will I mention? Please, how many will I mention? The oil well in Niger Delta. How many Niger Delta own a pot or a piece of land of of gold in the north? But the Biafrans, the Igbos are your problem. I will not allow Nigeria to be divided, say Sultan of Sokoto, because of the 23 oil well. Please, you say the oil is God's blessing. On whose land? The gold that you are managing and the thing that you are managing in the north, is it a Satan blessing, or the northern or Usman Dafodio blessing in the north? that Nigeria is not permitted or not allowed to lay hand on it, or no other person in Niger Delta or in Biafra land that have the same equal rights to have access to those goods.
That did not own this country.
My beloved brother, that is the area I am pointing. Thank God you throw this question. So you see why the Northerners are claiming. You see why they are killing you. Even in your land where God has blessed you with it, because of what God has blessed you with, that is why they are killing you, so that they will have upper hand, more access to what God has blessed you with. But you don't have access to what God has blessed Nigeria equally with gold and thing in their own side. Then who is a fool here? And who is wise? The Northerners are claiming to be wise. In case you don't know, they are proving to you that they are more wiser than you. They are claiming to you now that they own this country called Nigeria. They are trying to tell you that they run the affairs of the nation, that you, even Niger Delta, that you don't have a say. A total stranger, or one person, 23 oil well. You, as an indigen of Niger Delta, how many oil well do you control? In your own land, in your own ancestral land, how many oil well did you have? That is the question I put to you, and I needed an answer. Please, in a comment section, if you are a Niger Delta person, please interact with me. I want us to communicate. I want us to talk. This is the time that you people need to wake up from your slumbers. You see why Niger Delta, the oil in the east, you people are saying is because of the oil. That is why Igbos are fighting for Biafra. You want to, Baba, there is an oil in Imo State too. There is an oil in Abia State too. There is an oil in Igbo land. We are not looking for your oil, but what we want is justice and equity, and that is what we are fighting for. And that is why, let me tell you, we need everybody to be balanced. Biafran evangelist is speaking. Biafran evangelist is educating. Biafran evangelist is lighting people up. Please share this interview, share this ideology, share, just like. There is a need. I want you to comment regard to this. You see why? Because of what is in Niger Delta, the Northerners are fighting. They don't want Nigeria to divide because of the oil. And if not for that oil block that they owe in Niger Delta, which means they would have allowed Nigeria to divide. That is what it means. If not for the oil, they would have allowed Nigeria to divide, as they say. But since there is an oil, so when it comes to oil, it's a national cake. But when it comes to the what? To gold, it becomes a personal northern things. Niger Delta doesn't have rights over gold. Niger Delta doesn't have, citizen indigenous doesn't have rights over the thing that is in the north.
But we saw a man from Niger Delta, an Urobo man. He told you the Eagles that you are only claiming that Biafra, all this region is Biafra because of the oil in their region. That Niger Delta is no longer Biafra. I saw Governor Jason Wike also denied that. I'm not an Igbo person, no. Igbo should stop calling Niger Delta Biafra. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, my beloved brother. People like Wike, I put it to Wike. Just likewise I put it to that man that said, because of the oil that Igbos are talking about, joining them to be old eastern region. I ask a question and I want to ask again. How many of you from Niger Delta, how many of you own oil well, even in your own states? Wike that is talking, that is claiming that is not a Biafra, is he not the same Wike who rose up against his own colleague, partner, against his own brother? Was he not Wike that invited and instigated Bola Ahmed Tinubu for state of emergency in Rivers State? So if somebody like Wike, yes, some Wike name make a statement, is it that kind of person that you should listen to? No, I'm asking. And I am putting it to the same man that said this because of the oil. That is why Igbos. That is why I put this question. How many of you own oil well in Niger Delta? Sultan of Sokoto own 23. How many of you own 10? How many of you own 15? How many own 1? Including the man that said that oil well, because of that, the oil in Niger Delta is what Igbos is after. Let me tell you, Igbo people, there is something I want you to understand about the Igbo people. Igbo people, the Biafrans are in the whole wide world, are industrious people. They are not lazy people. And they are very, very creative, and they are very, very educative, and they are very, very mentally structured and what? Developmental. In Biafra, the Biafrans are the people, they make nothing. They make something out of nothing. You can take a look of what happened during the war. How did they come to manufacture Ogbuniwe? In every aspect of life, you can see today, they call it Aba made. You see that the Aba made we are talking about is what is reigning in Nigeria today. It's from Igbo ideology, Igbo developmental methodology. If you talk of materials today, Igbos produces. So you cannot say that because of your oil, that is what make Igbos fighting for Biafra. No. Keep the oil. Mazen Namdekan have already said that. But you will still see us, fly high. Look at people like China, please. Did China have oil? Are they not prospering? Are they not doing well? Are they not performing? The Biafrans will perform more than oil. Oil is not the major target. And moreover, yes, on weekend and co. Ndeko Wehanjo. You that said that you are not Biafra, I am not surprised. The one that you claimed as your brother, how do you treat him? You sold him off as a slave to a total stranger, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He declared state of emergency in Rivers State out of your own selfish interest, out of your own greediness. I don't think that the Ijos will be boldly come out, original Ijo man or a quarter man will be boldly come out today with the current situation of things.